So I feel a little bit like I'm going to be walking on eggshells today.
Why is that?
Well, I always like when we have David Samson on. We're going to have David Samson today.
He's very polarizing. Not everyone feels that way.
I know people are like, oh, what's Samson like? He must be an asshole. I'm like, no, he's always been really good to me. Like, I like David. Took me to Pearl Jam. You know?
Doesn't everybody here like David?
I don't know. I haven't done a poll.
Roy feels some type of way.
I love David, man, and that's a good dude.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Everybody likes David.
It's he's grown on me. You know, many years ago I would not have said I like David Samson, but he's grown on me, genuinely.
It's one of the things I get from people where it's like, listen, Dan, I don't know Dan very well. Dan seems like a great guy, and I just don't understand how he can be friends with David Samson. I get that.
People think Dan's a great guy.
So I feel like I'm walking a little bit on eggshells today because I love talking to David, and I don't understand how he's working through everything right now. I really don't.
I've been asking him about a leave. I think it's probably appropriate for him to leave, but he also gets whatever joy there is to be had in life these days from having an audience for an hour that cares about what he has to say about things. He's built that. It's hard to build. Zaz, you know how hard these things are to build. Mike, you know how hard these things are to build. But David built a media career in 5 years because he's in the volume business. He can do 2 hours a day by himself.
Yeah,
like nobody can do that.
I think you've gone through your stuff too in your family, Dan, and I think that this audience, this community around the show, and the doing and the making of stuff does provide some relief, a bit of a cathartic experience making this stuff and being supported by a community that you've helped create. So I get why.
But you could also tell he works really hard at putting the show together.
Yeah.
How does he find the mindset to do it?
I don't know. This is This is a pretty strange start. I can't lie. Yeah,
I'm a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
just trying to.
This was always supposed to be a meeting that was off air that was overheard by the audience. That's what the Shadow Show was supposed to be, but instead it became your performances.
Football is back, Jack. Oh my, we've waited for so long. We're so damn excited that we put it in a song. Don't need no check downs. Give me big hits and quarterbacks. Keep your fantasy team from falling off the track. Football is back, Jack. Whether on the ground or through the air. When the chips are down and you throw a prayer. When your team is primed and on the hunt. It's 4th and 10, you refuse to punt. When the shoulder pads and helmets crack, that's how you know that football is back, Jack. Let me hear you say football is back, Jack. This high is wild and out of control. And we're gonna ride it every week till we reach the Super Bowl. Don't need no check downs. Give me big hits and quarterbacks. If you say this game's the best, I'll say it's a gag. Football is back, Jack. Football is back, Jack. Football is back. Football is back, Jack.
Oye, Pablito, what's good, bro?
Oye, ponte la pila, mi gente.
the dork.
Mira que yo resuelvo.
How Cuban are you, okay? Aquí vamos a ver de verdad quién es el cubano arrepentido.
Billy Corbin.
It's Prop Ding Nagian.
¿Qué ponen ahí en ese aluminum tin?
De pingao.
Cortaditos.
Cookies, always cookies.
Dale,
Yo estoy en la ducha, estoy en la casa. I haven't even left yet.
dale, mi hermano. Ahí estamos.
They're too coladas.
I don't know what talco is.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a guy who is blank.
prick.
Mira, una colada que compré aquí.
Por tu madre.
I imagine it would be like, yo mama, por tu madre.
Compota, is that like the raspberry compote they do on Great British Baking Show?
Saludo.
That's great to hear.
¿Cómo sentimos de los huracanes? Oye, los huracanes.
La Universidad de Miami y los huracanes viven en el corazón de nuestra familia. How'd I do?
Guess where we're doing the party? We're doing it at Bird Bowl.
Is talco and baby powder the same thing?
Yes, you doofus.
All right.
What kind of Cuban are you?
Oops, there goes another rubber tree plant.
The money is in town. You guys feel it, right? Because the city's being wallpapered for advertisements to big-time football, college football, both teams. It's the Cuban Super Bowl. Fernando Mendoza has as many ads around town already as everywhere. You see them everywhere as the University of Miami playing a home game.
It's not good luck Columbus kids. I saw one that's just good luck Fernando.
No, Cubans are divided, and this is a good time for that. Sports has torn apart the Cuban community. Look, Mike has seen enough of this to know that ESPN Deportes was stuffed into a corner of the Clevelander with us. Here's what's left of it. Here's what's left of ESPN Deportes in the last 5 years. It's the biggest game is in Miami, and we're going to Latin it up. And we're going to do so with Greg Cody singing in a cowboy hat and prancing around the studio to introduce people, new people, to our show, because the biggest thing is here. It's in town, and you already feel it. Nobody can get anywhere. Donald Trump being in town during a big event, Miami thing, is going to make it take 17 hours for any person trying to get into that place. It's going to be Trump sitting there alone at game time.
Just trying to stick to sports. As my hockey team goes to the
How
White
soon?
House.
How are you leaving?
As my soccer team can't celebrate the Club World Cup without him on the stage. As I can't experience a World Cup in this country without his every single fingerprint all over it. And now at the national championship game, which I just knew was going to happen.
Okay, well, but so let's talk about this as this giant monstrosity comes to town here. And I want to figure out what planes to fly over the stadium. Help me fly some planes.
Interesting way to frame that. Probably airspace is going to be restricted.
I want to do some advertising. You don't think you can have just the planes circling around in?
I think airspace is going to be at a premium and restricted, so you may want to pivot. Maybe one of those buses.
No, you don't think it's funny for our logo with some joke and a banner to be weaving in and out of military planes? You don't think that's funny?
No. And I honestly don't even think our logo would fly with Canes fans either.
Are we a playoff team now?
Probably even more polarizing amongst Canes fans than Donald Trump.
Okay.
In fact, I know that to be the case. I've at least seen hats supporting him at the games.
All right, look.
Here we go with this.
No, we can get into this because I was being heckled from the bowling alley. Greg and Chris Cody telling me what their friends are saying about how offensive the things I'm doing are. We'll get to that in a second.
People are mad at you.
I'm a provocateur. I've been doing this for 30 years. Look, you broke a bottle over my chin 25 years ago because you were mad at me. Don't care. Built the empire around our program. I love it. I went to school there. Did journalism there. Don't care who's mad about it. Didn't care about it 25 years ago. Program's been very good to me. I love it. I've always respected it, and I've always told its story well.
Yes, you have always told its story well. I think most Canes fans don't think that you respect it. And I know this from the enormous amount of fanfare that I got for yesterday's segment defending Mario Cristobal. Okay. Dan, I think here's where the confusion is, and let me try to explain this as best I can. You're a guy that has historically put on for Miami better than anybody else. When those Heat teams were going and the entire world was against Miami, you didn't give a single flying F about who was coming your way. You do not step to this town and talk shit about it. And when there is a team for a school that you went to, a team that reflects this town better than anyone has ever had, you seem to both sides it some. I know, look, Jeremy, it's great that we have a villain. Billy doing his shit sirring thing, that was cool. But for it to come from somebody that went to the school, who already has got a reputation working against him, people, I think, incorrectly place a lot of the sanction stuff on you. As
You know about that Pell Grant?
Yeah, I mean, you got scooped
Can
on
you
it.
say the one word there incorrectly again? No, let's give people, since we're here, okay? Since we're here, look, this is a long time in coming. I have a relationship with the school, the community around the school, speak at its classes, have loved the school, will always love the school, am wildly grateful for all of the opportunities it presented, including the stage right now, because they helped us build this thing with all the things I learned from them and their program.
Look, it's been a rough 20 years. I'm trying to calmly explain why people feel this way about you. In the local hour, over several years, rather than trying to be rah-rah about the home team like we are seemingly with all the other sports. Dolphins, we tee off on, and that's understandable because they've been miserable, and we got to find a way to find the fun content. But for whatever reason, when it comes to the Miami Hurricanes, we give the other side more than we give the pro stuff. I know I am not the only Miami Hurricane fan in this studio. I'm surrounded by them. You're a Miami Hurricane fan. You're a Miami Hurricane fan. These two guys in front of me are a Miami Hurricanes fan. The only person that's not a Miami Hurricane fan is Jeremy, who reps UCF and Indiana and whoever Miami is playing. That's understandable. And yet, I think it's outsized and has been outsized on this show, giving voice to the dissenting opinions that it's become the opinion. And this is the reality. This is the perception of our show. The show, outside of me, is largely perceived amongst our community to be an anti-Miami show.
Okay, and so Jesus, I didn't realize I had to explain this to the audience. Never mind that I had to explain this to you. I didn't think I would have to explain any of this specifically to you. We're doing a show that has represented our city for 20 years through all of that conflict, and the story starts, okay, just so we remember what our roots are here. Before our radio station existed, I'm fighting in 90s Miami with the incumbent radio station who's killing me for 10 years while using all of my columns that are about race relations and what's going on really at the University of Miami with its players and who they actually are, as everything that's being reported is gun charges and cocaine, and Michael Irvin ran over somebody's foot near the library. For 10 years, that radio station is crushing me and using my columns for content to make themselves radio stars while I'm coming up to that school as a Cuban Miami through the same Miami Cristobal came up through.
Can you please mention how your parents fled to this country so I can get bingo?
No,
for freedom.
I'm going to tell you the entirety of the story. I know you guys know the story, okay?
Yes.
And I know you're bored by the story, but I'm going to tell the entirety of the story because of how I feel about this program and because I've been arrested around it and because I got a beer bottle broken over my face.
Yeah. No, you're going to also tell the story because you're a writer. Tell it.
Yeah, and I'm the one who runs this show.
Yeah.
And in running this show, we've created a wonderful journalistic character that represents the University of Miami artfully and with his heart at all times. And we do a national thing that annoys people plenty with all our Miami since ESPN Deportes. And now I am happy for everything that's happening around the program. And I said a word yesterday, reputationally. A word, a single word is what I said to you, that Mario Cristobal reputationally is not trusted in the big games, and that set you off.
Yeah, because it's just not true.
He's 7-0 against top 25 teams. Mm-hmm. And that is indisputable.
Yeah, big games
show
up.
But what's also not disputable is they've never won the ACC or played in its championship game. Right. And so the big games are few and far between. And so when you lose to double-digit underdogs, it's not unfair to say that before this recent run, he was reputationally criticized as someone who would not win these games.
Poor saying none of those games actually close at double digits, but I hear you. But
they were a Louisville double-digit favorite.
Right, but the reputation is they don't show up for these games. Like these are one-score losses.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's the part where I think there's confusion about.
We talked about that yesterday. All right, it's fine. Here's where I want to get at. I understand what you're doing. I understand, especially during some lean years, how my character could be grating and how my passion needed to have people to bump up against.
Go on.
When it comes to the Miami Heat, though, that doesn't really exist. When it comes to the Florida Panthers, though, that doesn't really exist. So Miami Hurricanes fans are sitting back and watching our show over the years, and especially during this run, and are asking themselves, Does Dan just need a Pat Riley fortune cookie wrapped around this story to cape up for his town? Because why is it so outsized that we have to have so many dissenting opinions when this is such a great story for this community and Dan is supposed to be the Miami guy and he actually went to the school?
But who disputes any of what you're saying, and how is that not being conveyed by the show through you? How is that not obvious in terms of bursts of great hurricane coverage that they can get not just here, but with the own business that you started because you want to do it differently and you want to be over there actually analyzing for 2 straight hours the guard play?
I would guess because they want 100% buy-in on this show.
I think our show meets a moment when the team is in the championship games, right? Like, this is, people come here from all over the world to hear biased Miami coverage because we are a Miami show. And for whatever reason, when it comes to this program, and it's irrefutable because I have felt it, because I am often alone when I am touting the Miami Hurricanes, this show has an outsized representation of dissenting opinions when it comes to this program. And I understand why, and I understand why I, in particular, need a dilution. I don't understand why we need that dilution right now.
I have a theory. Why Dan is... Cause I think what you're saying makes sense. And why Dan is like that with the Canes as opposed to not like that when the Heat are in the finals or the Panthers are winning the Stanley Cup. Is it because you actually have a legitimate tie to the school? And maybe you don't want to come off as... Like, you want to actually be fair because you legitimately have a tie to the school as opposed to having like, you never played for the Miami Heat.
Well, thank you, Zazzle. I am attempting, ostensibly, to be fair. Objective is funny because it's an illusion. But
now?
But did you not hear Nick Wright yesterday? Were you guys not listening when Nick Wright did what he did with J, capital J, wherever it is that he accused me of just sort of not being you anymore?
Right. Are you just overcompensating because you cannot deny
because
that it is different when it comes to this program.
Mike, I'm simply, to our national and regional audience, I am simply also trying to give voice to whatever other side there is here in the name of fairness, while everyone who's listening to this knows I love the school.
Right, but you don't do that to the other teams. You don't when they're in this spot.
Ask Jeremy, ask Jeremy how the Heat feel about how do the Heat feel about this show.
I don't know how the Heat feel. I know as the one person I'm hearing everything Mike is saying and saying yes on the Heat side
recently,
because this entire show for the last 3 years has been an anti-Heat show.
Recently, it's fair. Look, we're trying to call them a little bit like we see them. I'm not asking for 100% rah-rah homerism. I don't think that's ever been the case. We've always had someone on the show that is either anti the local team or at least speaks for that section of the audience. I'm just saying, like, the pro-Miami stuff is not a majority opinion on this show and hasn't been since probably it started. And that is the perception of the fans. You may feel differently. I'm just telling you how it is because I'm out here in these streets, Dan.
Yeah, you've mentioned that. You have those street credentials, and I urge everyone who's listening to this who want an evolution of all of this coverage, and I've heard what Mike is doing, and it's daily, and I shouldn't give him all the credit because there are a lot of people working on it, but if you want a content factory where every day you're getting reported stuff and different perspectives and instantaneously, because Zaz, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the whole machine is moving a lot faster now. So the places like doing what Mike is doing right now that are news information places that are independent and alive every day, especially during this time, people are snorting all of this coverage.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You told me how much content you guys are putting out with Canes Insight. Like how much content per day. I couldn't believe it, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that as the world gets smaller, as people get a little bit more detached, I do think that there's going to be a huge migration to local, to feel a sense of community around stuff. And when I was in College Station,
even when we're not playing in a championship game?
Yeah, even so, because there is a sense of community. People may have their opinions about what Miami's community is in Coral Gables. It's not, Happy Valley or College Station. But when I went to College Station, TexAgs is this amazing content machine. And what they do is aspirational. They have this huge 3-story studio right across the street from Kyle Field, and you realize there's an economy here, and people are starved for it. When your team is making a run like this, or even when you're upset with your team, people want to turn to stuff. So I'm really proud of the stuff that D-Money, Peter Ariz, and everybody that's ever helped us along the way is pumping out at Canes Insight right now. Got in at a good time. Thankfully, the program trajectory is going the way that it is, but we cover everything. Transfer portal, we break news, Miami Hurricanes basketball head coaching news, we broke that. We have as good a sources as anybody in the industry when it comes to covering this team. We're really plugged in, and we're pumping out content on the daily, so thank you for the opportunity to plug it. Please, you're on YouTube right now watching us. Official Canes Insight. Costs you nothing to subscribe and support what we're doing.
Look at Tony. He is soaked in Latino. I recognize the furniture in there. You know I recognize los pastelitos. That is, you right now, it can be said, are at the very epicenter, at the heart, the pulse, that very seat of Miami.
Yeah, Dan, hello, welcome, good morning. Right here, I'm at Party Cake Bakery right here on La Calle Ocho. I have La Casa Los Trucos. Literally, I can throw a baseball right to La Casa Los Trucos right across the street. I'm very partial. See, hold on. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. Right there. There's Casa Los Trucos.
Try to throw a baseball.
Okay.
Right?
No. Look, Tony.
He's Cuban.
I don't have a baseball with me, but if I could, I would.
Tony, please don't
throw a fake baseball like you did at FIU.
Tony,
we missed an opportunity yesterday to have the Columbus coach analyze Tony's quarterback throw without a football.
Well, let's
I thought
just go
about
back
that
next week.
On the way home, I was like, shitty job by me.
No,
Should have thought of that earlier.
let's do it next week. It's fine. Look, this show's moving fast this week. There's a lot going on. So we just skipped past the national and I'm guessing international news that Fernando Mendoza's high school coach called him publicly a dork yesterday, like a nerd. The beef in the Cuban community has escalated to that, where we stirred controversy we didn't have time for.
I mean, Dan, to be honest, like I didn't feed him the dork line. I know Jeremy said that Tony feed him that line. Like I did not. We were standing a couple paces apart from each other. He knows ball. And he understands a dork when he sees one, which is fine. I love Fernando Mendoza. Like again, he could be my cousin. He could be my brother. I love the kid. But when you start talking about the Stoics during the press conference, I know, hey, you took a couple too many philosophy classes at Columbus, which is fine. Again, no shade, but I just know what the deal is.
Tony, I have wanted all week for you to pop up somewhere and buy everybody breakfast. Is there a way right now that we can tell people where you're going to be tomorrow? Do we have a plan for tomorrow so that we can buy Miami breakfast on the corner of somewhere in Miami tomorrow, please?
Absolutely, Dan. I'm going to be boots on the ground at Coral Gables. I'm going to be on campus at the University of Miami.
They're allowing us on campus
Location still TBD. Location still TBD, but we will be on campus tomorrow. Maybe we'll bring some coladita, we'll bring some patalitos, some croquetica, and start passing them out. So,
but how about right now where you are? Look, here's the thing, Tony. Here's the thing.
You want me to buy this guy breakfast?
No, I want to. I want you guys. I want you guys to have a plan of buying everybody a breakfast in Miami at some point. Maybe we'll do it Monday.
You have the budget for that? That's going to cost like $16.
I know. That's why I want to throw a big party. That's why I want to throw a big party. Pan con mantequilla. Do you have any there? Are you dipping it in café con leche? What are you doing?
Right now, I'm just drinking a cortadito, which is basically a mini café con leche. It's colada cut with milk, which is why it's called cortadito. There's a truck going backwards on the road here. I don't know if that's legal, but there's a bunch of. If you look over my shoulder here, I don't know if you guys can see this. Over my shoulder, right around here, there's like about 150 barra de pan right there on the rack back there. So they are getting
your
ready
mouth
for
was watering,
which we call tostada.
Yes.
Yeah. Once we hang up here together, I'm gonna go have a breakfast.
So Zaslow, where are you on Cuban coffee? Trey Wingo, you guys, okay. So, but everyone knows the story around here. It is legendary. Trey Wingo's career ended when he came down to South Florida and got addicted to cafecito, and he was never the same after that, and he couldn't stop talking about it. So it isn't normal coffee. It is spiked with. It's laced with 80s Miami cocaine.
My father tells a story of when he first moved down here back in the early 80s, and he had Cuban coffee for the very first time. He thought he was having a heart attack. They called the ambulance. The hospital came to his work. They started strapping the deals on his chest, and they saw the empty cup of Cuban coffee on his desk, and they said, "Did you just drink all of that?" He said, "Yes." They immediately took all the patches off and went home.
All the deals they took off?
That is is unbelievable.
True story.
Wait a minute.
You're not supposed to have the entire thing.
Yeah.
That's why they give you the thimble.
He didn't
because
know.
You're not supposed to have the entire thing.
He loves telling that story.
Wait a minute. He almost overdosed.
Yeah.
So hold on. So you're telling me there's a visual somewhere of a family relative of yours, the paramedics arriving.
My father.
I know, but there are other people here.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying is at the center of your family, you're having an incident in which your father has had too much cafecito, passed out, and
He had one. It was at work. He's sitting behind a desk. The co-workers called the ambulance.
And his heart rate got so high.
He thought he was having a heart attack. They're there. They put they're strapping the deals on his chest. They got the shirt open.
What are the deals?
The heart monitors, so they could see if you're having a heart attack. So they're strapping the deals on his chest. He's got his shirt open. The chest is out. That very manly Zaslow chest hair. And as they're monitoring, one of the paramedics sees the empty cup of cafecito and says, "Did you just drink that?" He says, "Yes." And they didn't even say anything. They just started unstrapping everything. They went home.
I'm telling you, that's a skit. That's a skit for all time on Sábado Gigante. Someone like Zaz's dad thinking he overdosed on coffee and disgusted Latin
New Yorker who just moved to Miami. Didn't know.
But disgusted Latin paramedics throwing down their equipment because, we've got another one of these in Miami. Another Trey Wingo who can't handle his coffee.
Yeah. True story.
It's an unbelievable story. Yes, Tony, let's buy some breakfast for people. And how many times
That's
is somebody?
3 times.
How many times? Go interview the person who's dropping things. Get us to the interview. Ask how common that is for somebody to drop 3 things in a 90-second hit. Go do the interview.
No, nobody's dropping anything, Dan. No, hold on. Dan, nobody's dropping anything. What had happened was that's when you grind the coffee and when you actually make the coffee, you hit la cazuela, pam, pam, pam. And that's what that is. I know you've probably never been to a Cuban bakery in the last 30 years.
That's my
that's
ignorance showing right there.
They have the wood plank and the garbage can.
How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
No, it's embarrassing. No, it really is embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. Like, Dan's like trying to create these things, and I'm like, oh, no, dude, that happens 18,000 times a second here. Hold on, come over, watch. See, so if you look at what she's got going on right here, right? That's where the cafetera, that's what she's hitting right here to knock out all the cafe that's already been made. So that's when you hear bam, bam, bam. It gets hit right there.
So can we sit around and get that? Can we sit here and get it until we get the live moment of a so that everyone can see how Cuban coffee is made that ruins Trey Wingo's career? I want to build that way. I want people to be able to sell coffee you guys don't.
I wonder how Trey feels
she ran
about
away
this.
because the camera's here.
He thinks his career was ruined, or
I think he's still working. I follow.
I
did a lot of great stuff for DraftKings. I'll tell you that much.
I'm sorry. Was that cruel? I'm simply saying
a little bit.
I don't.
Yes.
That he got addicted to coffee?
No, the other part. The other
ruining of his career.
But it makes the story better. I thought that's the joke we were all
it's insulting.
in on.
You don't have the greatest of radars.
Also, Dave Dunn isn't Cuban.
That was
We
my favorite
tried
part.
to tell you repeatedly.
Yesterday.
He said he was a gringo.
Insisted.
Hey, Dave Dunn, what's your favorite Cuban dish?
You insisted. Yeah.
No, I had to help on that one because he said, what does this mean for Cuban Miami? Which, of course, the guy does not know anything because he came here like 5 years ago.
David
and
Dunn.
I at least threw him the alley-oop of what's your favorite dish where he can at least throw croquetas in there.
It was
Coño.
a good job. Sometimes writers know the story they're going to tell.
I'm trying to repair I'm trying to repair the relationship that Dan has with Miami right now because Dan is just uniquely Miami Beach and he lives in that silo, which is beautiful. I love that for him. But when we come over here on this side of the MacArthur, things are different.
Sounds like an insult.
It's what the streets are saying.
It's not an insult.
It's
I
what
love
the streets
Dan.
are saying.
I love Dan like a father figure.
We're out here helping. We're boosting Dan's Miami
I'm
credentials.
trying. I'm literally trying.
We're
You
doing
didn't
our
know
best.
that the pom 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 was a cafe.
Dan. Even I knew that.
Dude, and let's not, if we have to revisit it, his dad was an embarrassment.
Oh, my God.
An embarrassment.
Forgot about Fidel and forgot about Elian. This is how you guys.
And the cookies.
It almost makes me retroactively offended by all the stuff he did on HQ.
Oh, you should be. That was rampant exploitation, so the man at Disney could have a Latin accent because mine
cartoon
was
character.
because I'm Le Batard. Dan Le Batard Dan Le Batard is over here with Jeremy Taché in the Americanized version of the Cuban. We need to go get
at least I knew what that sound was.
We need to go get the cartoon accent. Let's get that. Let's rent Daddy's voice.
Tony behind the counter.
Tony, you work there now.
Behind the counter here.
Tony,
I mean,
nice.
I'm basically almost part owner of this place.
Tony, I love
Come
the
on, Sean,
freedom
let's
you
go.
have
Let's
and
go
the
to the
trust
back
you have in that kitchen. Let's tour. There's
the pan con mantequilla.
Uh-huh.
That's
Ready
the
right
good
there.
stuff.
All you got to do is throw it on the grill. Psst.
Oh, that's the good
It hits
stuff.
the grill right there. Beautiful. Vamos para allá. ¿Qué tenemos ahí? ¿Qué tenemos aquí? ¿Qué tenemos ahí? Ay, cuidado.
They hate cameras.
Tenemos aquí pastelita de guayaba, pastelita... No, guayaba no.
Oh,
de carne.
that's my favorite right
Y
there.
esta
Little
aquí.
meat patties.
Guayaba y queso. Espinaca tenemos. Y de coco ahí. Ah, pastel de coco. De guayaba aquí, que está riquísimo. Yo voy del party cake que está en la 128 de Miami Airport. Voy para allá. Mira para esto. Y pan francés también. They got all kind of bread here, Dan. Are you a bread chaser? Because they have them right here, dude.
Well, that's the good stuff, right? If we're going to dip anything in coffee, that soaked in butter, that's the Cuban experience.
It's good stuff. Is it breaking down
Look at
Elijah
that,
Surratt
dude.
versus
Look
O.J.
at that.
Frederick? Probably not,
Oh,
but
my
it's
God.
something.
Kane's Insight.
I mean, you can get that wherever. Yeah, you can get that with D-Money over there. But D-Money's not going to break down Banco Mantequilla because
Some guy just
he's vegan.
ducked.
No, I love this. Tony's got run in the kitchen.
People don't like cameras.
Is that right?
People don't
Tony,
like cameras.
Tony, how
That's
about
roast,
this?
that's roast.
Tony, tell me this. If you
Yeah.
had to guess, how many people there speak English?
This is more of a tourist location, so I'd say maybe half of the people here speak English. Because this one's on Calle Ocho, so there's a lot of tourists walkabouts. But there's one that's on Miller y La 92. That one does not have any people that speak English because I went to that one on Saturday after I played basketball to get some croqueticas and some pastelitos.
But those
and some
people
stuff.
would also
I'm
let
really
you
out here in
just
these
walk
streets,
into the
dude.
kitchen. But those people would also
Yes.
let you walk into their
Yes, yes.
kitchen
Oh,
and
we
just
can go back
wander
here.
around. Yeah.
Easily. Obviously, it's harder for me to do it with the. Los Lucy. Look at this. Los Dulce. ¿Qué tenemos ahí?
Now the guy's just showing off.
Señoritas.
Ah, señoritas. Señoritas están riquísimos.
Esta es la masa de mil hojas con crema pastelera y se le pone la cobertura de chocolate. Allá tenemos la de azúcar.
Ask her if she thinks the Canes are going to
Yeah,
win.
let's get some
Azúcar.
predictions.
Thank you.
Ask if she thinks the Canes are going to win.
¿Qué tú crees de los Huracanes este juego que juegan ahora en el domingo? Excuse me, el lunes.
Bueno, yo espero que ganen.
There we go. She thinks
Claro,
we're
uno
going to win.
siempre
Guy with the
tiene el
hurricane
deseo
sweater.
de que ganen.
Canes by 50.
Yeah, and she also says that Mark Fletcher is exceptional at picking up the blitz.
Oh my God, Rose is giving me croqueticas here.
What
Look at this
other
beautiful vat of
advantages does
croquetas.
Miami have?
What other advantages does Miami have?
No, I was
we
talking.
gotta-
I
we
was
gotta
talking to
strong
Mike.
We
D-line
got to
play.
exploit number 67, that right tackle. Dan.
she said strong D line play. That's what I said.
It's lining up Mesidor and Bain on the same right side. That's what it
Trenches.
is. And you count on the development of Marquise Lightfoot on the other side to collapse that pocket, make Mendoza hold on to the ball. He is prone to mistakes. This is a guy that can turn the ball over, Dan.
Tony, can you tell me what I have to do to repair my relationship with Miami? You guys have been trying to help me for a couple of days. You told me, Dan, you're not welcome over at Columbus. They're not about what you're about. And I was blind to it. I'm like, what do you mean they're not about it? And I'm like, Dan, stop being ignorant. Their politics and your politics, they don't combine. But I'm like, no, I'm just doing a sports show over here, right? We're all in on the same joke? No?
No.
Yeah, no, we are, and again, I'm trying to get around to all the different places that people would be boots on the ground, where regular people would be, and obviously we call George Sedano Hollywood. Dan's a bit Hollywood himself, right? He's got a little bit of a bubble of Hollywood people that he hangs around, and he's not really in these streets. He's not on Coral Way, Ila 92. He's not here at Party Cake Bakery on Calle Ocho. He's not here, and like there's no veneer that Dan could put on to be more Miami if he's not actually in the streets. It's been 30 years since he's been in a beer fight in a bar fight with a beer bottle at Bird Road.
That was tough.
It's
to
again.
hear.
I love you like a father figure, Dan. Watch out here con Gladys. I love you like a father figure, Dan. But like, damn, we got to get you out of these streets, dude.
We do.
Like, I don't know what to
We're
tell you.
trying to repair your reputation in your hometown. I can't believe it's come to this. It's worse than when Pell Grant was happening.
That can't be true.
It is worse.
That Mike, that
Hop in a Discord,
show 'em all
pal.
Show them all the birds over here.
That cannot
Look
be
at
true.
that-
I'm telling
look at
you,
that
your
gallo right
brand,
there.
your brand amongst
Mira,
Canes
mira
fans.
gallo ahí.
That's a rooster.
Toxic brand.
Mira estos gallos. Mira estos gallos. Aquí rico. Mira. Cuckoo. They're locked in, dude. These are real roosters.
Mm-hmm.
Look at them all across the street. Rose
Ask him
gonna pick
about
one
Surratt
up.
versus
She doesn't know
Frederic.
that those.
Yeah, there you go. Get Rose to chase the roosters.
Rose, you're there
She
to
doesn't know that some of these roosters are.
Rose, you're there to document the television, not to make the news. We cannot. We need to go into the environments and allow the things to be as they are. We are in the wild, and we can't just be making television out there. Tony, we'll check in with you in a second. Just real quick before I let you go, though.
Thank you.
Chris,
You heard that cock?
Are you aware of what La Casa de los Trucos is? Because I have been there within the last 18 months. This will not surprise you guys.
Surprises nobody.
I am aware, but tell Zaz.
No, so you're not aware. Okay, so just, Tony, real quick, tell people, I know you did a Tony's tonight on one of these. No, that is a rooster. That's not a sound effect. Chris isn't doing that. He's not that
he's
good.
there.
No,
he doesn't like that I'm in his turf right now.
No, he doesn't.
He's right down there. He's in the bushes right there. He doesn't like that I'm on his turf.
Let's size him up.
Look at this guy. This guy's a little dirty here.
Let's size him up. Let's see what kind of agility.
This guy's a little
he
dirty
has.
over here to the right.
All right, get out of there. Leave them alone.
He's got good agility.
It's their environment, not yours.
Yeah, we're scouting.
But go ahead and explain La Casa de los Trucos, and then I'm going to send you over there because I need a report from over there.
Okay, yeah. Casa de los Trucos is basically like, imagine like the original Party City, right? They had every costume, every sort of like gag gift.
No wonder Dan likes
There's
it.
actually like an old witch. There's an old witch as the
similar to playthings.
as the mascot with the long nose. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. This is not. Thank you.
This is
He
a
said OJ
Halloween
Frederic
store.
has
This
the
is
advantage on Surratt. I don't know.
it's not a sex store. This is a Halloween store.
No. I mean, maybe if he has the right people, there may be something in the back that could, that could equate for that. But right now, it is probably the oldest costume store in Miami, at least. I don't know if any place older than Casa Los Trucos.
All right, let's go get the history over there.
Gave the rooster a lav mic.
All right, get out of here.
Bring the rooster with you.
Hold on, let's see how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 7 roosters.
Yeah,
just kind of hanging out
no,
here.
look more over there. Look across the street.
Rose, stop.
Rose, Rose. Look, there are roosters
Rose,
across the street.
Te vas a matar. Ven para acá. Ven para acá. Te vas a matar.
These are
and the problem
fighting
is
roosters.
that
man.
Why did they cross the road?
Rose is so
exactly
interesting.
right. Exactly right. That's what I was about to say, Mike. She doesn't know that about probably 60% of these roosters have hands and will peck because they've probably
Claws,
been
get
bred to
out
fight.
of there. They're talented.
I saw one with
yeah.
claws.
Yeah, half of them got
Rose,
razor
get
blades on
out
their
of there.
talons.
No, they all have claws.
Look, man, those birds have been protecting that area of a store that's got a great dumpster because there's Mantequilla and Bong back there. That's their family. Get out of their neighborhood. That's a bad neighborhood. Get out of there.
Bad bird neighborhood.
It's a bad Miami neighborhood. Get out of there. Go across the street to La Casa de los Trucos. Leave the birds alone. Thank you. I will continue to get advice for you because I am guilty as charged on where it is that you guys are accusing me of more unpopularity than when the Pell Grant stuff was happening, which I did not report. When you tell me that, I am guilty as charged on a bubble because I have totally checked out of social media in a way that has helped my head because the last time all of this happened to me 30 years ago, I mean, you guys laugh at, beer bottle of the chin, that's funny. No, it was terrifying. I was in my 20s and the University of Miami program's fans hated me because I was doing journalism around the school. So it was kind of a hard thing. It was a hard time. Like I got battered in my 20s when I wasn't old enough to know what was happening to me.
You got to get back on social media. There's some wild stuff going on.
Yeah, dude.
I am blissfully unaware of what it is that's happening with me reputationally that I would be seen as somehow. You think I'm nationally seen as anti-Miami Hurricanes?
I think our show is largely that. Like we've got me as like window dressing.
Stunner.
I'm telling you, man.
Consider me stunned.
I'll show you my algorithm. There's some stuff happening.
Consider
It's
me
mostly boobs,
stunned. You are absolutely right then. Bubble as charged. Like I was blissfully unaware until now that however it is that we've been doing the show would risk any kind of unpopularity when everyone knows, everyone nationally has been presented a figure in me who has always been pro-Miami, and nowhere outside of this market would I have a reputation that would be seen by anybody as anti-Miami. It would only and could only be in this market.
It's sad to see what's become of you. Conversely, though, I am riding high. People love me in the streets.
Kevin Hart.
I'm very excited about doing this because this is a human being I'm very curious about. His insatiability, his conquering, his ability to be, I think I can say this, if not the most successful comedian in America, the most popular comedian in America. Usually stadiums don't get sold out. Kevin Hart, thank you for being here. I am really interested in finding out how you're built. Your friend Neil Brennan tells me, ask him about his past and you will understand why he can't stop working and why he will never stop working.
That's very true. Neil is a really good friend of mine. Great guy, too. I like Neil all around in general. He's just a good definition of a person. But yeah, man, I'm on your platform, so I'm a firm believer in allowing people to be great, and you are good at what you do. So in this interview, be you. But if we can go as in depth as you want, what questions you have, you'll get great answers and great feedback. I'm here for the greater of good.
Okay, well, I'm happy to have you. So let's start, though, with your conquering. It seems like you are hell-bent on proving something with employees and worth and building and creativity. You want to be what? Like, it seems like you've arrived at what would be a destination for any comic.
I think that it's I can simplify it, right? I can simplify it. I think what some people tend to make extremely complex and difficult, I do a good job of making those things easy, right? For me, I look at it from a perspective of we all have an option in our life to do as much as we possibly can, right? And you can take that option and max it out, or you can do the minimum, or you can, do, I guess, what can be deemed to be the mid-level of whatever. Right? But there's things that are put around us that do nothing but give us the opportunity to succeed and grow. And it's
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
As a proper network and whatever it is that remains of ESPN Deportes, I did not understand what Jeremy was shouting about sources close to Mendoza. I heard you guys, like, all of a sudden this is a newsroom and Jeremy is shouting sources close to Mendoza as I continue to interview his high school coach as if he's Cuban, even though his name is David Dunn.
Yeah, I have a plugged-in source close to Fernando Mendoza.
Man, your shirt is bullshit again.
What? That says the Hoosiers are flipping champs?
So I said.
They are.
They are.
Have a trophy.
They are. They're undefeated. This show's anti-Miami, and all it is we do for several days is say, how does this point spread keep climbing?
I want to give all the glory to God.
But I do have a source close to Fernando Mendoza that has given me some information that actually is probably going to help the Hurricanes. So, Mike, if you guys want to talk about this on Kane's Insight, it turns out Fernando Mendoza is lactose intolerant.
Oh, no.
So if you're looking for a weakness, all you have to do is get some dairy in that diet. When you're looking at the Gatorade that's on the sidelines, maybe sprinkle a little of like powder of some kind. When he's going to get some coffee, you get rid of that almond creamer. You put some whole milk. Dan, whole milk with a W. I don't know if you know that. There's a W in whole milk. You make sure that happens, and you're gonna have your way with Fernando Mendoza. He's gonna go to Tummy Ache City.
You get it? You get what he did there?
Dan, I broke it to my Canes chat 30 deep that I just clued you in on Canes fans hating you, and that it's almost like you don't know about consequences. A record 9 ha-has in 30 seconds.
Did you let them know that Fernando's lactose intolerant? Because that might be really big information for them.
9 ha-has,
If they want to make an impact,
in 30 seconds,
do their part.
That's a ratio.
That is. Time to look in the mirror, Dan.
You know about that ratio?
Clearly, what is happening around here, I'm not joking when I tell you, color me stunned. As I said, guilty as
up to
charged.
12 ha-has.
This has never happened to me. I don't think there's been a case of this ever happening, and the Miami fan base, I suppose, will enjoy seeing me stripped naked in front of you all this way. Like, obviously.
Like yesterday.
It would go, yeah, you saw it yesterday. I would do anything for this program as long as it's winning all of its games.
I can't believe I didn't get a happens to know for that information. That's good stuff. None of you have that information.
Well, you're right.
It's journalism.
You're right that they could legitimately poison Mendoza
with a little bit of milk.
If soy milk, if someone were to
How do we
just say,
sneak it in?
Put some cheese on his chicken nuggets.
It's just get the soy out of there, give him whole milk, and you're going to have a quarterback who's got the stomach rumbles. You can't play this game with the
What
stomach
hotel
You
rumbles.
cannot play against Ruben Bain if you've got a tummy ache.
What hotel they staying at?
Let's
do this.
I feel like you've just endangered a kid.
Yeah.
Let's not do this.
No, let's not do
All right,
this.
let's not do
my
this.
dad will never forgive me if we hurt Mendoza.
Well, that's the thing. My mother won't either.
Jeremy's fault.
My mom is rooting for Mendoza. I'm like, how could you?
It's lactose intolerant.
Don't you know what it is that this school has done for
He's
us?
gonna get a tummy ache.
Papa, you'd never be on television without it. How could you go for Mendoza?
So my dad, as I've mentioned, is totally in on this storyline. And he FaceTimed me yesterday, and this is one of the rare times that I didn't ignore it. And I answered it, even though I didn't want to.
Now, he FaceTimed you.
Yeah, does that in the hopes to see my daughter. But she wasn't there, so it was just me laying on the couch with Roma, and I still somehow answered it. Usually I just like answer and immediately shove it in my daughter's
How
face.
do you answer it?
Hey, Dad. And then, I always
With,
thought like
with that level of enthusiasm?
yeah, that level of enthusiasm. My dad does this thing occasionally. I have to explain it to him. I'm like, I spend the entire day talking about sports, and the last person I want to talk sports with is my dad, just because I don't respect him, or sports opinions for that matter.
Well, you could have left out the first part and just left it.
I love my dad. He's a great Abu. Anyways, he asked me for a ticket to the game.
Oh no!
He
asked me
probably
for a
heard you
ticket.
say you had 12.
No, he didn't. He doesn't actually support what I do, but he loves saying that he's my dad, which is cool.
Same relationship I have with the University of Miami.
And I'm like, Dad, respectfully, and I did say respectfully, even though I was totally
now you say
disrespecting
whatever
him
you
at
want.
the time. Yeah, I want the seat to go to someone that actually cares about the Miami Hurricanes.
So Dan?
And my dad doesn't care about the Miami Hurricanes.
Oh, wow.
He cares about the scene. He wants to be there because of the whole Cuban storyline. He's been so in on Mendoza.
Well, and it seems like he'd be rooting for Indiana.
He would be. He told me, he's like, man, it's just Fernando's gone through so much adversity that I really want this for Fernando. And I'm like, Dad, you don't want this for me? Like, I've been sacrificing a lot of time, money, and effort here trying to get to this point. He's like, I really want them to finish the story. I'm like, what is their story? This is their story.
What is
They
their
didn't
story?
matter.
Hurting your son?
Yeah, they didn't matter, and now they matter. That's a great story. It's awesome for them. The story here is the pain. Like, I've tasted the riches. And now it's been 20 years.
I'm offended for you.
I was offended. And then he's like, okay, where can I watch the game? I'm like, anywhere? And he's like, yeah, but I don't want to wait for a seat. I'm like, Dad, enough of this. He's like, what? I'm trying to get to this Columbus watch party. I'm like, you went to Belen. That's a hated rival. What is happening? The Mendoza thing has gotten the older Cubans crazy. They love this guy more than they love their own town because he is an archetype of what they thought this country would mean for their children. Yeah. Mendoza is the perfect, you could build him in a lab, the ideal dream child for one of those second-generation Cubans that came here hoping for a better life. He is an amalgamation of the American dream, a good religious Cuban boy, and it is gotten in their heads so much that they root against their own children and their own town.
That's some balls on your father, I gotta tell you.
And he overcame that lactose intolerance.
What about my mother? And I would say to you, Mike, and I say this as we build up Monday, a live watch party, because I can't even imagine the idea of hitting up Mike for tickets right now for what this ticket is. And we are doing, while Mike is at the game, he's going to have to leave about tomorrow in order to get to the, maybe Saturday afternoon to get to the stadium. But he has been, in a way that's been like, the pandemic made us all crazy, okay? But the last 5 years, Mike has poured his life into this school, like into the things around this school. He's got an information business that is covering this week better than anyone else is covering it this week.
What was like the tipping point where like, okay, I want to be this?
I was really frustrated with how things were going, and I'm a big believer in be the change that you seek. And I was complaining plenty, and I guess just getting other people riled up about what was going on. But then I realized I needed to get in the game, and I was afforded the opportunity to get in the game. But I think like the real tipping point in terms of like anger and enough of this shit was probably the first couple of plays against Alabama and Atlanta, because I was a believer. I was like, De'Ara King, all right, here we go. Manny Diaz and New Miami. And then I was watching warm-ups. I'm like, we're a joke. We're an absolute joke. We had zero interest in competing in that game. It was just, let's not get hurt. And that's not the Miami that I believed we were. I thought we were turning the corner, and then I realized I got again. This is the third consecutive coach that got me. I was there as he arrived in a yacht and was talking all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is the energy that we need. And I was a believer. We weren't too far removed from the turnover change. And I was like, all right, here we go. This is it. I loved Mark Richt, but he had the health stuff. This is the guy. And I got fooled. And I was pissed off, and I had enough of it. I actually spoke to Manny Navarro about this. I wonder if you could have put that out.
The health stuff, man, you just skipped over the best of the UM years in the last 20 years that were had here.
God bless Mark Richt.
No, of course. A legitimate legend at the University of Miami, even though people, I guess, would say, well, no, not really. But he kept the program afloat during all of those times.
That dude cares, man.
No, and cares, and used his own money and everything else. But you just skip past the health stuff because you're going through the last 20 years of supporting this program. Is when is Randy Shannon going to get out of here? We need him to lose games. Supporting this program, it's taken a lot to get to where Mario Cristobal was, and he went through FIU. And without the storytelling parts of this, which are kind of amazing, just the facts of the matter is the business of Miami run through this man over the last 4 years has increased in value every year after they made a $90 million commitment with a lot of money people were questioning because it was Life Wallet and John Ruiz. So overcoming all odds, this Cuban business has absolutely risen up at the center of college football to get to the very top of the chain led by this man. Where am I not positive enough about this stuff, Mike?
I tried explaining it to you, buddy. It's okay. We'll help you. View it like you view the Miami Heat. And I know you got relationships with people in that building and you deeply care, and there have been a whole bunch of regimes that have come in and out, and maybe you don't have the same kind of relationship with that heck building as you once did. But when it comes to the Miami Heat,
he wants you to be a homer.
You put on for your city, and you don't mind being called a homer because you're like, you're goddamn right. I've had opportunities to leave this town. I am a proud Miamian, and when the rest of the world attacks this town, I am the guy this entire sports fandom area rallies around. And when it comes to your own school, you are not that guy. And I'm very sorry about that, but you can turn it around. There is still time, Dan Le Batard. You're doing a watch party. We got a couple of days here. It's fine that you bring in Gino Torretta and Edgerrin James and you farm out the homerism and you farm out the school pride.
Need more.
You need to tap into that guy that was ranting against Indiana. Yeah. You need to tap into that guy that hates Boston. You need to be that guy. You need to be that guy again for this town.
Why would I
You have forgotten who you are.
Why would I hate Indiana?
You hated the Indiana Pacers plenty.
They're not Miami.
You You hated the Indiana Pacers plenty. You did 2 rants at their expense. Where is that guy?
You want me to hate the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers?
No, not just them. The entire state of Indiana.
Led by the Heisman-winning quarterback from Miami?
Yes.
The Heisman.
Irrationally.
Want you to hate Miami's
Yes.
opponents.
You know why? Because they're what's in front of us.
That's right.
You want me to call Mendoza a dork, not have David Dunn do it.
That's right. This should be muscle memory for you.
You should just treat Indiana like you treat me.
There you go. Look at him. He's even wearing a shirt for you.
Yeah, look at that
Hate
bullshit.
This guy.
But I like Indiana.
But you hate him?
I don't hate.
You hate him.
It's too strong.
Everybody hates him.
Everyone.
Come on.
That's his whole deal. That's what he brings to the table.
Dislike.
Roy, thank you for being a voice of reason in these troubled times, for turning down the temperature. Dislike, we can have a better conversation around. Nobody here hates Jeremy. No, it does not rise to hate with anyone here.
I do.
I want to believe you if we lift number 6. I want to believe that it matters to you. And right now, feels performative. Feels like you're going through the motions. Feels like you kind of hate it a little bit sometimes because you're worried about the comment section and what people may think of our show. You never cared about what people may think of our show when the other teams are in it. And yet for this team, for some reason, you do. Give me Dan Le Batard back, Jack.
Perhaps I don't think we want to keep staying on this couch, do we? Unless you think it's a therapy that you're revealing to me something I have not seen, which you are.
I'm not trying to give you therapy. I'm giving you a little pep talk. I know you're that guy. You've always been that guy. Just be that guy again.
You think I have it wrong that the country is watching this game and all they're rooting against is everything this show has been, loud, proud, and obnoxious, wherever the worst and best of sports fandom resides?
When has that ever affected you? That's the sweet spot. There are some people that are right along with us, and it's usually this community that support us, but you've lost this community around this team. Now you're just getting hate from all sides. Put on for your city one more time.
I don't think I have it in me.
Uh-oh.
I think it's too big an ask.
What if I show you Tony from a costume shop?
Let me see. Let me see what we have there.
Fiesta Ciudad.
There it is. La Casa de los Trucos. There it is. It's been there since what year, Tony?
Basically since the Cuban exile, probably 1960 something. This has been here. So this has been the longest standing costume shop on the planet, as far as Miami's concerned. But I'm looking here, and it's closed, Dan. Unfortunately, Esteban, the owner who we had on Tony tonight, who did incredible gags on Lewis, is out of the country. So we don't have the permission right now to go in, plus they're closed. But they said Monday he'll be back, and we can go in on Monday, Dan. So is that something you want to, farm out for Monday? Are you interested in that?
That sounds good. Zaz, how about you?
Okay.
All right, so where else are you going today? Because what I'd like to do now, and I failed to do this before, if you want to go back over to where we were, I'd like to give you a chance to give us one football take headed into the NFL weekend, because we're wearing out the audience with all our college talk. Think about what that take is, and I'd like for you to give it to us next while eating croquetas, okay? One after another, okay?
Okay. We could do that. I'm also going to go over to a Guayabera shop, which also has like some Cuban history in it. So we're planting the seeds around here on Calle Ocho. I did want to go through, Dan, obviously you've been here, but other people haven't. So they're giving examples of kind of some of the things that they have. They've got a gypsy of some sort. They've got un pirata. They've got Frankenstein. They've got King Kong. They've got Dracula, Morticia Addams. They've got some sort of the knight or something. They have Satanas. So, and if you turn around,
you know about that Satanas?
For Sean McGill to do. I don't know if you do, Zaz. They've got Gloria Estefan. They got Emilio Estefan. A beautiful mural here of the Miami Sound Machine. What more do you want, Dan? Look at this. And the breeze is blowing. Like, we're next to a transmission shop. Like, somebody lives right there.
Yeah,
that's somebody's house right there.
Yes, that's correct.
You know what? I don't want to do this, but I could throw a rock and hit that window over there.
You
it
won't.
Wouldn't be nice,
Yeah,
but I could do it. That's how close they are.
There's no need for that. In the name
You want me
of
to do it?
no.
You want me to do it?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I'll do it.
No one wants you to do that.
No one is asking you to throw a rock and break a neighbor's
Chris, I heard
window.
Chris say it.
I don't think
I
he'll
heard
do
Chris
it.
say it. Yep.
All right, Tony, please, I'm going to need you and your father's help to repair my image in these streets over the next 3 days. Please help me. I can't lose my image.
By the way, I talked to my dad.
I can't lose my city.
I talked to my dad who's – I know. I talked to my dad who's got a lot of people at Columbus that he knows. He's very, very intertwined in the Columbus circle. He said they didn't appreciate a lot of the stuff that was happening I've obviously made the inroads and calmed the waters a little bit, but they didn't like where you were headed on the road you were headed on the last couple of years. So it's going to take a little bit to do that, Dan. One trip over there is not going to help.
All right.
We need to make a couple trips over
Okay,
there.
I need your help. Please go Equilquetas and think of what that one take is. We got to go talk to Tom Segura, please.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll check back in with you. Andrew Santino is going to be on with us in a little bit, and David Samson as well. This is going to continue to be a fun week. I've got issues with Santino, though. Honest to God, I didn't tell you guys any of this, so this will be interesting to parse out with him. He's in breach of contract on Meadowlark Media because he was supposed to be the Chicago Bears correspondent all year, and then a bunch of things came up and everything, and there's like litigation. He blew it. He blew it. He could have been Bears correspondent every week this season on the most amazing Bears season there's been. And so we're going to talk to him and see if we can hash that out in a little bit. But Tom Segura, he's a best-selling author. He's a comedian. He's one of the guys, I think, that has helped change comedy podcasting. He's got a bunch of podcasts on his own network, Your Mom's House. He does that with his wife, Two Bears, One Cave with Bert Kreischer. And he's got a new Netflix special, Teacher. It is now streaming. I'll get to him and the streaming in a second. But you're a crazy college football fan, right, Tom? And thank you for joining us, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I do. I love college football, man. I don't think you have to listen to your colleagues' advice and become a homer. I don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, you've been listening? So can you help me manage this, please? Because I'm getting berated by my community for not being Cuban enough.
Yes, they're enough. Okay, there's enough Cubans there, and they're supportive enough. They don't need you on board too. You can be a voice of reason. It's fine.
But no reason. This is not a time of reason. College football has no use for reason.
Listen, man. Look, first of all, this is the Indiana story. If you like college football, we have basically never seen anything like this. This is crazy that they're even here. It's insane. If you watch college football for the last 30 years, Indiana is a team you see on the schedule and you're like, oh, cool, we're going to beat the shit out of them. They're going to win maybe 2 games this season. The fact that they've even put this together is bananas. I started to watch games like halfway through the season because I was like, there's no way they're actually good. They're good, man. They're really good. It's amazing. I cannot believe I'm seeing Indiana play in the national championship game. It's bananas.
This is perfect because for years, Dan's actually been yearning for the acceptance of comedians way more than the local community.
Dude, you got enough local support. Do you need more local support? Really?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah. Because Dan, for whatever reason, when it comes to this program, a team that represents the town more than any other team, decides to play it cool, decides to give equal time, makes sure that the haters are heard. That's not the case when it was a Miami Heat. That's not the case even when it came to Florida Panthers hockey, and Dan doesn't even know what the puck is made out of.
He doesn't need to actually do any more for the Canes, bro. Like aren't you an alum?
There you go. There you go. You got Tom Segura on your side.
It's
not pronounced Segura. It's Segura.
No, it's Tom Segura. No me jodas. But listen, man, I think what we're looking for more than anything in this thing is that, I have tons of Miami friends. I have tons of friends that were players. And they're all, every year, they're like, Canes are back, man. Canes are back. And you're like, oh, okay. Look, they're kind of back. They're in the national championship game. So it's exciting if you're in Miami, if you're a fan, if you're in that studio, I'm sure you're thrilled. And you should be, because you actually, after all these years, put together a team that couldn't play in the ACC championship game, but they're in the national championship game. And that's incredible. I think you should be thrilled about it. But I think if you're a college football fan, this is the craziest Cinderella story we've ever seen. Indiana is not supposed to be in the national championship game in football. This is the craziest thing I've seen.
So explain to me, I'm missing a portion of this. When I see Rich Eisen doing a segment where he's saying that Miami, or I didn't hear the segment, but I just saw that what was clipped was Miami is America's team. That can't possibly be so, right?
What the hell? Rich Eisen's on drugs? That's crazy. No, that's
It's
Miami?
It's all of India. The country is root. All of the country that cares about college football is rooting for Indiana, correct?
They are 100% doing that. 100%. Yes.
Nobody outside of Miami wishes for Miami to win this game. They all want the story to end with, can you believe Indiana just had the most unbelievable upset season of all time? No one ever saw Indiana coming.
I think that's a totally reasonable thing to say. Yeah. I think that most people hate you guys. Most people
As they
hate
should.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
And I think and
all
no,
right.
and I think if you're a Miami guy, you embrace that. You embrace the fact
Usually.
that people hate you. Yeah,
Typically.
because Miami swag you. You're like, we did it first. It's who you are. And I think Miami best shot. I'm talking about as a team is embracing the fact that it's them against the world. That the country does want to see them lose. Country always wants to see Miami lose.
Tom, you're
Yeah.
helping my end game more than you would ever know. This is catnip for Dan Le Batard. Wait a second. The
Great.
entire world is against Miami? How did I not know this?
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's not even close.
Why is that, Tom? Why is the entire world against Miami?
Oh, boy.
I can think of a couple reasons.
Me too.
That's all you guys got?
It's probably
No,
the
I
safe
mean, look,
play.
there's multiple ways to look. I mean, to be fair, there's a couple ways to look at it. There's going to be the thing that people say, which is they're like, Indiana's never been there. This is a basketball school. They got it done without getting 5-star and 4-star kids. It is the Cinderella. All they've done is lose, man. I don't have to tell you that, right? You know that all they've done is lose in football. If you were an Indiana alum and you wanted tickets to the basketball games, they made you buy tickets to the football games. And you go, I don't want these. And they're like, yeah, I know. But you're buying these if you want to go to the basketball game. I mean, the other level of it is the one that we all know, which is that I think a lot of people are just like, oh, Miami with the gold chains and loud dreads and all that shit. Like, yeah, they're racist. Do you not know that a lot of America is racist?
Yeah, but that was 30 years ago.
No,
I know it felt like racism went away, but it's having a huge comeback, Dan.
It's back.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the news this week, but there's a lot of white people that are still hanging on to like, just enter our country the right way, and you should get shot if you don't. So those people are the types of people that I think definitely want to see. They associate that with Miami. It's layered, man, and it might be nuanced, but I don't think it's untrue.
Tom, you got to spend a little bit of time with the Miami Hurricanes mascot Michael Irvin over Christmas, didn't you? With Netflix?
He is the best.
Stadium, don't come back. No. That's it, baby.
I love this guy, dude. I love this guy. And I told him straight to his face that I'm not a Canes fan, but I would go anywhere with Michael Irvin. He is the most fun. I was like, what are you on? And he was like, let's not talk about it. And then what is it about you? He's just like, he's like, I'm built different. The enthusiasm that guy has, I mean, he would be the person I'd put at the forefront. If I was building a team, I would honestly, if like you get prime age of everyone, Michael Irvin's definitely on that team. He's incredible.
Well, it is a testament. It really is a testament to his connection to the program and to entertainment that Miami is the only team in the history of college football that has as its mascot an NFL Hall of Famer, like as its mascot an NFL Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean it's so crazy that they were able to work that out, but it's not an act from this guy. It's so genuine. That's the thing. It's so enthusiastic. I don't know. There's points where I'm like, I think he's going to run on the field. Like, I don't think he has any no in him. There's just like, it's all energy 24/7. He's like that at 6 a.m. It never ends.
No idea how he finds the energy. Really don't.
There's ways. your love of Michael Irvin and football and Netflix put you together in a situation. You guys have had a number of interesting opportunities present themselves. How are you selecting the ones you select, and what is it that you are trying to do with the Netflix opportunity?
I've had a great relationship with Netflix for, I guess, 12, 13 years now. I'm in prep right now for season 2 of my series Bad Thoughts, which we start shooting next week. It's just something that I really wanted to do. I took it to them first, and they said yes. And they've been great to me on stand-up. They've put 6 specials out, so I'm super lucky that I've been able to do that. And for me, I just go with, like, this is the thing that I've dreamt of doing. They've literally made many dreams come true, and so I'm just very lucky that it's worked out that way. I'm just super thankful that I get to work with them.
So what are the situations you found yourself in, though? I saw you told at some point an Indomik and Sue story, but you found yourself in what strange positions as someone who never really expected to arrive in a place where you'd actually be jostling among, like, some athletic heroes that, want to party with you?
I mean, I've sat next to Mike Tyson at a fight, and that's pretty crazy. The whole thing feels surreal, man. I mean, I just wanted to be able to sell some, tickets at a club when I was starting doing stand-up. You never dream, like, I'm going to do a stand-up where they play NBA games. Like, that's not on your vision board. You just kind of, you do your shows, they put it out, and then people either, like it or they don't. And it turns out it's both. But you don't really get to pick that thing. I mean, I've found myself hanging out with people that I never thought it would be a possible thing. Like Tyson was obviously one who I've run into now several times. I still think it's crazy whenever I run into him and that he remembers me. I think I remember I was having dinner with, like, Joe Burrow and Nick Bosa and John Feliciano, Hurricane.
I asked him. That's not fair.
He asked me. No, you don't get to. You don't get to do that. Whoever played that, you're a fucking bum.
It was Chris.
I asked him. Yeah. I asked him.
He might be a bum.
He's literally fishing for me to do this. You piece of shit. So I'm hanging out with these dudes at dinner, and they're telling NFL injury stories. And I remember, like, if we were talking about, you and me were talking about injuries, we would talk about, if you were telling one, I would be like, oh, this would happen to me. And I realized that in the middle of them talking about NFL injury stories, my brain just was like, oh, I remember when I got injured. And I was thinking about a high school football injury, and I started telling it, and my brain was like, I think you're about to get lit up by these guys. You're talking about high school football, and they play in the NFL. And I could just feel it. They were like, I saw their forks kind of go down, and I was like, ah, shit, just take whatever they say. And they were like, oh yeah, you hurt your tailbone? And I was like, yeah, man, I was doing punt coverage. And they were like, uh-huh. And they're like, how'd you get injured? Were you, like, falling down the stairs? And I was like, okay, I'll just fucking.
Nobody asked a follow-up question, Tom. Tom, they didn't let you drown in that shit. That seems like such spectacularly bad judgment to try and get in on the story with your war story, and to have those 3 guys look over. How do you not realize 3 seconds in? Oh, what a terrible mistake I've made.
I did. It was humiliating, and I knew I had made a terrible mistake. But my brain was like, just try to keep going, and maybe they'll gloss over it. Maybe they'll miss it. Like, I was just trying to escape the room. And then I just took the beating, and they just roasted me for the next hour. It was a humbling experience, man.
Tom, you can stop me at any point. You may want to stop me already. I've been going down. I read the book on the Garth Brooks thing. I know you're probably annoyed with people asking you about it. I don't want to ask you about any of that stuff and your opinions on it. There is a part of the book that alleges that Garth Brooks has a video of you actually sustaining an injury.
A horrible injury.
Yeah, a horrible injury, showing people this video and saying that it was karma.
I learned this firsthand from somebody who is directly related to one of his high-level employees. And so the person that I spoke, I'm trying to, like, not give out too much of their information. The person that I spoke to was like, yo, yeah, I've met him. weird guy. My relative works with him. And I said, does he know about these rumors? And he goes, yeah, of course he knows. And he doesn't get it. And then they asked him, they're like, do you hate Tom? And the person that works for Garth said, Garth doesn't hate anybody. And I was like, that's such a creepy thing to say. And then he said that he sometimes looks at the video of me tearing my patellar tendon and breaking my arm and goes, karma right here. So yeah, that's how he responds to being, the internet has completely ruined his social media, right? Like it's
Comments are off
on like everything. He used to first he turned them off on Instagram, then it turned off on Facebook. And like, those are big, obviously platforms for him because just everyone's asking him where bodies are buried and if they can have their grandmother back. And so they just, it's completely over for him on social media.
This is I guess it's a complicated question, but you guys have all run into a giant fame sort of fast that I think probably you didn't quite expect in some ways, and you teamed up with Bert Kreischer on something, and he is vulnerable in ways and fragile in ways that the internet's going to eat up, especially if he's reading comment sections about himself. Like, as you've gone through the last 5 years of slalom course in a changing America, what has all that felt like as some of the guys in the Rogan sphere are being accused of, tilting the political election?
Yeah, I mean, the social media thing is a very precarious thing to navigate. And I think you realize that like if you get great exposure, sometimes, you get showered with positive things, and when it shifts to like negative or very negative, what you realize is you really shouldn't be digesting either side of it too much. I don't let it really. I've been doing this now, stand up 25 years, and you learn like how to deal with like people talking shit to you and accusing you of things or calling you names. And at first it's really shocking. Like I remember when it first happens, it feels so personal. But the longer you do it, and you realize you have all this exposure, the more I think of it as like, this is just something you deal with. Sometimes I look at like an extreme case and I try to tell, when I'm telling like another comic about it who is themselves shocked about it, I'm like, look, why don't you just like do a search for like what Taylor Swift gets? Do you think that like she's sitting there making sure, like, yeah, she gets a lot of praise and then she gets a lot of criticism because she's a superstar. So your stardom has begun. This is just part of how it goes. Now, as far as the political thing, I know that some of those guys are really into that. Thankfully, I'm not. I do not participate in that. I mean, I've been I wouldn't say I'm a very outspoken person about political things, but I've definitely never been a supporter of anybody in this administration. And I think I've made that pretty clear.
Can you explain to me the perils, before we talk about Teacher, your new Netflix special, the perils of doing a podcast with a Peruvian relative? Forgive me, I am a bit ignorant about the concept of the podcast.
Oh, well, my mother is Peruvian. So she's I'm half Peruvian. So we gave my mom her own podcast. And she is a crazy Latin mother, as they all are, and she's the most difficult human being I've ever met in my entire life. And so I decided to share her with the world and gave her Muy Muchachero, her own podcast, in which she can be crazy with my own staff. But she's she's a lot, man. You have a mom, right?
Yes, I've got a Latin mom, but I've had one all my life. So
yeah, me too.
So how does that go? Like how does the podcast end up going where you're unleashing to the world Hispanic fire?
Well, so we used to have my mom as a guest on YMH, and she would come in and the whole game would be just to horrify her. It's still my favorite thing to do. When I was a kid, I would just belch at the table or say awful things just to get this rise out of her because it was fun. It's still fun to see her get upset. That's been a thing we've done for years. But she is, to her credit, I have to say, this woman is naturally funny. She's a natural storyteller. She is funny. She is an exaggerator. She's dramatic. She's fucking Latina, you know? So she is who she is. And so we gave her her own show where my production staff, the fantastic staff at YMH, they just do this show with her now where they fill her up with like pop culture news. Here's slang. What's your take on this crazy story about, you know, someone selling their own breast milk, whatever crazy things happening, and you just get to see Charo react. And that's been the show, and fans seem to love it. So, you know, I'm glad somebody's having a good time with her.
The new Netflix special is called Teacher. It is now streaming. You'll forgive me for doing this, but Tony is calling in urgently from back at, yes, okay, no, yeah, has he moved the party somewhere else? That looks different. Tony was running around Miami because we got a big game coming up. He wanted to play Refrán del Día with you. Are you ready to chew up some Latin phrases here before you leave?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Dímelo, mi gente! We are here live at La Colada Gourmet, still down on Calle Ocho. Tom, I'm a big fan of yours, buddy. I'm excited to play this game with you. So, the game we're playing is called Refrán del Día. I give a Spanish phrase, and then and then you have to translate it into English. So I'm going to give you the Spanish phrase. You're going to translate it into English literally, and then we decide what it means and let the people know who don't speak Spanish how we use that and where it comes from. You ready to play?
Okay. Let's try.
All right, let's do it. Chris, spin the wheel. Okay, this is one that we've never had before. This is an exciting one. It's a little bit more nuanced.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So here it is.
You want to start with nuance as opposed to easy. You want to go nuanced.
Yes, because we've given all the easy ones, right? And Tom is a man of dignity, a man of class, a man who understands Spanish. He does the damn podcast in Spanish, for God's sake. So he knows what the deal is. So here it is. Today's Refrán del Día is, más sabe el diablo por viejo que por diablo.
Más sabe el diablo de qué? Más sabe el diablo por viejo de
que por diablo.
So the devil knows more for being old than for being the devil? Is that
exactly right. Nailed it.
And then is this a Cuban expression?
What the hell does this mean?
I'm glad you asked, Dan, which is why it requires nuance. So, más sabe diablo por viejo que por diablo. It's not that he's the prince of darkness and knows all. He knows all because he's been around longer. And that's a phrase that's said to somebody who's older of age, who's been around the block, who's seen things. You say, más sabe diablo por viejo que por diablo. So, somebody
it's such an old lady phrase. It's an old lady phrase that she says when she sees you getting into, like, bad things, like you're going down the wrong path, and she's telling you. That's what I feel.
Tony, go eat croquetas, Tony.
Exactly.
Tony, I can't believe that's what you chose to use with him. Thank you.
Okay, I can do another one. Fade him down.
No, thank you. Just spectacularly bad judgment, and I knew it as soon as you started talking. It's rare that it happens.
Never good when he says nuance.
What did you say?
He just learned what nuance means 2 weeks ago.
I just can't believe what he tried to do with you there.
Really?
No. Yes, I'm.
Isn't that the game? I thought we.
No, but it's supposed to be.
Nailed it.
It's supposed to be a little easier than. It's supposed to be a little easier than what it is we just made it for you.
No, wait, how is it complicated? What do you mean? What's the complicated? You said easier. Easier how?
That the expression that he used, I didn't understand what he was talking about, even as someone who knows the expression.
Oh, I love that he's exasperated.
No, it's that Dan doesn't speak Spanish. So he hears a phrase that he's never heard in his life and then says it's a bad phrase. Dan has no idea what he's talking about. That's why Miami doesn't like him. Like, what is he attacking me for? Are you kidding me?
I like this.
Tom came out and knew it exactly was in 2 seconds. That gave the context for it, Dan. You have such a bad gauge. You have such a bad gauge, and so does Mike Ryan. God, arrepentido pa' coño su madre. Like, please.
She's dead.
Please. That's a phrase.
Thanks, Tom.
It doesn't mean exactly yours.
Hey, man.
She died. You knew that.
Me cago tu madre, Dan.
Me cago en tu leche. Oye, muchísimas gracias.
Gracias, Tom. Nos vemos.
Hasta luego.
We're going to talk about that mom line, Tony.
The man is a legend, and he's a legend in Vegas where it's hard to be a legend. I've seen him. His face is ID to get into all the big places. And he's also, though, he's a Florida guy as well, and I think he should be a Panther fan because he grew up in Boca. So I don't know where he is, but I believe he's bigger than Wayne Newton now. He's more Vegas than Wayne Newton, and I'm not joking when I say comedy legend for 40 bleeping years. 40 bleeping years and still doing it 4 times a night in Vegas. You, Carrot Top, Mr. Top, are rooting for who in this series?
You can't say 40 bleeping years.
I am delighted to see David Samson. He is now clean-shaven. He will explain that in moments, I suppose. Nothing Personal is the name of the podcast. Zazzle, you were asking during the Shadow Show a not unreasonable question. It's a very exciting time in Miami, and David is still doing shows, and you've been confused how and why, I guess, David is still doing shows.
Always like talking to David. I like David a lot. Love hearing him talk about movies, TV, and all that stuff. And by the way, I think David's got some good movie and TV stuff today to share with us. But I am genuinely, astonished that you're able to do the show. Because, I get the whole idea that, hey, it's 2 hours, it takes my mind off the worst thing ever, and I could do something that I enjoy. But I know how much work you put into preparing for the show. And it's not just, hey, I'm showing up for 2 hours. You're still full-on working, man, and I guess I commend you for it.
Thank you, Zaz. It's 2 separate issues that you're bringing up. One is that I want to show my children that I have to work, and we not about the money, but about going on and doing work. And there's an expression, the show must go on. And it's the hardest thing to think about until you actually have to do it. And so I've really been trying, but there's been moments, and you guys have been great. So thank you. Last week I was supposed to be on with you guys, and I was afraid to get behind a microphone because my brain wasn't working right, my mouth wasn't working right, and I didn't want to embarrass the show or embarrass the audience. And so there's days when I cannot do it. And Metalark and Dan, thank you, all of you. You guys have been truly supportive of everything. And, we have a lot to go over today. I appreciate the opportunity. But Zaz, no, none of this is easy, nor would I wish it on anybody.
Well, without getting to any of the specifics, because I do want to talk about plenty of subject matter that you've been very good on lately on Nothing Personal, but how to navigate, I asked the group here and you, how to navigate people caring about you, thinking perhaps that you should take a leave to take care of yourself and your family and sort of mothering you that way. Am I stating something unpleasant when I say you and I haven't talked about any of this stuff, but all of us are concerned for you because it's too much, David. It's not, it's an overwhelming amount. You're a man who built a stadium. You're a man who ran 7 continents in 7 days, 7 marathons. You're a very willful man, but what you're presently doing emotionally is too much.
It's too much for anybody, Dan. And so I need you guys, and I appreciate just being on a show and trying to do it. But yes, I have things have been going on in my head just differently now. I got into an argument with my daughter's doctors last week because I was tired of sitting in waiting rooms, and I don't have a bad temper. I don't raise my voice ever. I'm much more just condescending and dry in how I get upset and manifest that upsetness. But I lost it in the middle of a waiting room with other patients, and I'm finding the lack of control to be incredibly difficult for me to handle, and the lack of ability to make my daughter better is crushing. It's been 4 months. It was 4 months this week that when she got sick, and I can't do anything about it other than the ridiculousness that I do with insurance and with getting her treatment and care and all the other stuff and dealing with family and trying to help my 2 other kids who are suffering so tremendously. But my capacity ran out, and it manifested in a discharge of emotion and vitriol and bile in the middle of a examining room as my daughter was crying because she hadn't eaten, and we'd been waiting around for so many hours, and I'm not proud of it. On the other hand, the frustration that I'm trying to work through, and it's not content, as Pablo would say, but it is me trying to work through everything, is that accepting the reality of the situation turns out to be the hardest part. Understanding what you can't control and what can't get better, that turns out to be the hardest part when you're looking at someone whose life is forever changed and cut short. You're thinking to yourself, what do I do differently? So I'm examining everything, which is something I never did with you, Dan. I never did on the air. I never did off the air. I was very sure-footed in everything I would do, very cocky, and now it's just all gone. It's literally all gone. And that's been a tough one, Dan.
So Nothing Personal is the name of the podcast, and we will get to the content of the day and of the moment. But honest to God, wherever it is that grief resides, or people healing or trying to heal stuff,
is where you'll find Dan.
Mike, by the way, not to be undone, Mike has been unbelievable in the last 4 months, but silent in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There are more important things, David. The Hurricanes are in the championship, David.
Listen, and I don't begrudge Mike that, and I love you, Mike, but let me just say, this Hurricanes run, selfishly, I'm so excited for Monday night to be done.
Yeah, I can't be there
because I want you to win and have it, but it means that you'll again be willing and able to reach out.
Yeah. No, I'll wear it. I'm a bad friend and a worse person.
Good fan, though.
Great fan.
Good fan, though.
You're a very good fan, and you're good at business. You're good at what you do. But talk about disappearing, Dan. Holy Christ.
Have you heard about Mike's new business? Mike, tell Samson about the new business that you built.
Hey, Canes Insight. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Official Canes Insight on YouTube. Business is a booming. San Mali.
I just followed Kane's Insight on Twitter because during the first part of the program today, you had promoted it, and I had not been aware of the YouTube channel or of the Twitter account, and now I am a follower and subscriber of both. I love the work you do, but working in an extra phone call, I mean, jeez.
I'll get around to being a human being after Monday's game. I promise I'll be back, and I'm sorry, just... I'm spread a little thin here. What do you want from me, man?
You're spread thin.
David, as someone who understands the business of all this stuff, have you seen how obscene the ticket prices are for this game?
Yeah, but so what? I get into an argument with people about this all the time. The ticket prices reflect what people are willing to pay. And I believe, Mike, 20,000 tickets went to Indiana, 20,000 went to Miami,
correct,
which leaves about 25,000 for various other things, but there's sponsors to deal with. It's always the same way. And people complain about Taylor Swift and about Springsteen, and they stand up and say, we're going to keep tickets at a reasonable price for our fans. It's horse hockey. If you can't afford the game, watch it. And that's fine. You get an experience with watching with people or watch it on your own. But of course they're going to charge as much as they can, as they should.
Where are you, David, on Rich Paul doing some of what he's doing as an agent that you don't generally see, but he's also got an unprecedented client? And is it an unprecedented business, David, to be this kind of affiliated and aligned with somebody who's your sports adjacent, but your business is tied to the legend of our time?
Yeah, unprecedented client. I don't know what you mean by that. In what way is he unprecedented?
LeBron James?
Yes.
LeBron James is the biggest thing that there's been in American sports for 20 years.
He has a type of power we've never seen an athlete have.
Since Malachi Tony.
Yeah, so I think the power of LeBron James, you're watching it fade right now, as it should and as it will, and that's very normal to have happen. He's not anymore the face of the NBA. He's certainly not the best player in the NBA. He's not even in the top 10 anymore, and not to take away from the run he had, which was outstanding, but the run's coming to an end. But when you talk about an agent having power, what LeBron is more well known for than anything else, to me, is player empowerment. And that is what happens when agents also become empowered. But we've seen that in baseball with Scott Boras from the beginning of my career 25 years ago. So I don't find any of this so outrageous. What I do believe is that we'll sit here 5 years from now, and the type of power that you think exists with those two men will not exist that way.
How do you imagine the Lakers management hears Rich Paul on his podcast with Max Kellerman trading away their players who he doesn't even represent?
We ignore. We've had this. We've had agents who try to dictate who you're going to sign, who you're going to trade. They've got an unhappy player, or they've got a player on another team. They're trying to get out of a situation into a different situation. The amount of time a front office spends thinking about what agents say or do is so tiny that it doesn't even register on the time scale. I heard Tom earlier in the show talking about a vision board and playing in front of stadiums and NBA arenas. The vision board for a front office and for a president of a team, it's not agent related ever.
But did you not spend, I feel like you probably spent time when you were president of the Marlins with what Scott Boras was saying or doing, no?
No, it's only in media that I love doing that. And it's such a big content fountain with what a buffoon he is. The only thing we did with Scott Boras is one of my favorite things I ever did in baseball is every time we negotiated with him, we'd do it on speakerphone and we would leave the room and just let him talk.
No.
And we had our assistant tell us when there was a pause and we'd come back in the room. But we would leave and go to my office, which was next door to the GM's office, do other stuff, and then come back because it didn't matter what he was saying and we certainly didn't care. And it certainly didn't move the ball. It was just a matter of when our owner would give in to what Scott wanted. That was the only thing we were waiting for. But yeah, this type of things with agents, they have an outsized view often of what their role is, and it only manifests itself with people like a Boras or people like a Rich Paul. Go back and look at an agent.
Let me just stop you for a second. Your feuding with Boras is well chronicled, but I want to ask the group, because he dismisses Boras as a buffoon again and again. And I know that that's been your viewpoint, and you've been articulating it very well for many years with a lot of details that would bring people to your side. But I don't think Boris's national reputation is of a buffoon, even though you're shouting it from the mountaintops. I believe you're one of the few who would say that, but you're also more informed as to why that's so. Zaslow, your general opinion of Scott Boras is?
It's someone who's difficult to work with, most likely.
Okay, which is what an agent's job is
Correct.
to be, but
Correct.
also wildly successful and not a buffoon.
Yeah, right.
Not a buffoon.
Someone who's very, very tough and gets what he wants.
So he doesn't ever get what he wants. He gets given what he wants. And there's a very big difference there.
It's
And one of the-
semantics. It's semantics.
No,
David.
no. It's not semantics. It's like blaming. I would never blame a player or an agent for a bad contract. I don't blame Boris ever for the contracts that he gets for his players that are outrageous and don't work out, because owners approve them every single time. An owner has to do it. And that's always been the mechanism. That's why you have such an issue with power and with the power dynamic of what it is to be an owner or a rich white billionaire. The fact is, it's that way because they do have the power. They are solely in charge of where their money goes. Agents are merely a vessel trying to get credit. Now, some of them are great guys and actually do have the best interest of their players in mind. But those guys are more the few, not the many. And just what Boris does, he just lies way too much to his players. That's the part that bothers me. And fans have this view. And again, we're talking about Rich Paul and LeBron James. What is it that you think the Lakers front office did when they heard the podcast? Oh, we never thought of doing that trade.
They're mad. They're mad. The Laker front office, it's being reported, is mad at an employee that's at the center of their team and needs to not be messy. Like, they're not happy that this is happening.
Is that a report?
Yes, it's been reported that Lakers management doesn't like that this is happening. Why would they?
And wouldn't you also think it's reasonable, David, for the player who's not represented by Rich Paul, in this case Austin Reeves, to kind of now I mean, is he going to confront LeBron? Probably not. But he's probably thinking to himself, man, I wish LeBron's agent wasn't trading me.
You think that Reeves and LeBron would not have discussed inside a clubhouse this sort of story? Of course they do. We would talk inside the clubhouse. The best place for these conversations is the food room, where you've got 4 to 5 different areas where people are eating, and you've got people walking in between them, and there's TVs on in the background at very little volume. And
Eating
some
areas.
Of the best. Say it again.
Eating areas.
It's an eating. What do you? Yes.
Sorry.
It's.
The College Football Playoff 47 brand and Pitbull have announced a merchandise collaboration. What? Guys, this Malachi Tony candle is strong. Prayer's already answered. I just paid $67 for a shirt that says Miami loves teachers.
Dale.
David, are you...
My screen, Dan, is so small. I thought that was Jesus on that candle.
It's baby Jesus.
Oh, it is?
Well, but baby Jesus is the nickname for Malachi Tony. Or as
Oh,
Greg
I thought it
Cody
was actually Jesus.
No, as Greg Cody. You thought that Malachi Tony looked like actually Jesus? No, he just performs as baby Jesus. You thought that was Jesus, not baby Jesus for the Miami Hurricanes.
Oh, now I see it. But you have to understand that A, I don't have my glasses on. B, I'm on a screen remotely, so I didn't see any color. Although who knows, Jesus may have been black. But I thought that was actually Jesus Christ.
He was.
Malaki.
I believe that is outright racism, I think. But
No, David doesn't see color.
Well, it might just be his vision, though. The funny part about that is it just might be that his eyesight is going because he's going crazy.
Two of the shirts have already sold out.
It's a good velita. It's a good candle. Those Lordy candles are. Where did you get that?
Lordy.
I want to give all the glory to God.
David, there's a lot of entertainment news, and I don't know where to start on anything from the great business stuff you're doing on Sporting Class with Pablo Torre, where you've been talking about how much television is going to change, what's going to happen when the Oscars go to YouTube. Do people really understand what's about to happen in the splintering of television? There's a lot of ground to cover between here and the silliness of the Golden Globe, so go ahead. The floor's yours.
Well, let me just start by saying, look at what we're doing now in the podcasts. And a lot of attention came when several podcasts started going over to Netflix, because now the view of a podcast is no longer that it is audio only with a smattering of maybe a little video. The reality is that we're in a world where this is a TV show that you are doing. It's a TV show that people both watch and they listen to, and our job is to get to people wherever it is that they engage with content. And that means being on Netflix. That means being on YouTube. That means being on DraftKings Network. It means being available wherever podcasts are. And that's something that has evolved super quickly. And what these new deals mean. Think about the Academy Awards. We always viewed that as broadcast television. It's on a network. Well, they just cut a deal, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science. The Oscars are going to be on YouTube. And people are saying, on YouTube, how can that be? Well, guess what? YouTube is just a channel now. It's another channel that we have where we watch stuff that has the freedom where you're not stuck with Greg Cody hard-outs. You're not stuck with that you have to be done by 11 o'clock or 11:20 p.m. and then your late local news is late. Those days are over. And so the job for us as content creators is to get to the most people we can wherever it is they are, because it's not like it was when Howard Stern went to Sirius XM, where you're expecting a huge influx of subscribers because you're following someone to a platform. And it happened early on with some podcasters. What it is actually is we're doing deals now, sometimes exclusive, some not, where we are trying for eyeballs. And the Oscars did the same thing. So it really doesn't matter, other than NFL football, it really doesn't matter where you are or what your actual ratings are. It matters what your total audience can be. And one of the best ways to do it is through YouTube. And so I'm fascinated that the Academy Awards decided to do it, and you are going to see that happen. John Skipper said it himself. The Super Bowl could eventually even be a pay-per-view event. And that is real, and it's happening way, way quicker than any executive thought.
How quick? The Super Bowl on pay-per-view by blank at the fastest.
The Super Bowl on a streaming network within 10 years is almost a guarantee. Part of the new media deals with the NFL, there will be an opportunity for Amazon or Netflix to have a Super Bowl. That's a guarantee. When you say pay-per-view, that means can you pay just for that event? And while you could argue that that has been like UFC, it's going away from pay-per-view by joining Paramount, I would tell you that the concept of buying a service for an event and then canceling Billy style, that's the new definition of pay-per-view. So I'm going to say within the next 10 years, you will see a Super Bowl that is quote-unquote pay-per-view.
Golden Globes?
I hope you're all watching the movies. They're not incredibly popular, and I don't know why. One Battle After Another and Hamnet, and there's movies that are fully emotional and really smart movies. Marty Supreme has gotten a lot of attention, both negative and positive. The movie I want to review, I watched only because of Mike Ryan, and Amy Madigan was going to win Best Supporting Actress but got upset. But she is going to get nominated for an Oscar, and those nominations come out a week from today. They'll be out when we do our show next week if I'm invited back. And it's just a great year for really, really great movies. The one I'm championing the most is called Sentimental Value.
Okay, cool. But the one that you're going to review is Zaslow?
Weapons. What a movie, David.
I never would have watched it without Mike suggesting that I watch it.
Didn't you want to know how that? What were the kids doing? How'd they go missing?
That's exactly right. That's exactly well put.
Here's my review of Weapons. It is not a horror film. It is a film where it is a character study in what it is to have influence over people's thoughts and people's actions. And the character that Amy Madigan plays is her name is Gladys, and she is some sort of otherworldly person.
She's a witch.
Wait, she's what?
She's a witch.
I don't remember that from the movie. Right. She's a witch?
I mean, she displayed the characteristics that of a witch.
She was able to, so it's funny, I had her as some sort of alien, not as a witch.
An alien, huh?
I had her as the ability to do mind control over people and to turn them into through some sort of action of putting something in. Wait, we can do spoiler alerts, right? By
through
putting
a spell,
stick.
David, through a spell. That's your classic
Spells
witch.
are witches. Come on, David.
An alien. Dog.
An alien?
Get her
David?
out.
An
Aliens don't
alien?
do spells.
David, how do you watch this many movies and
What's a
confuse a
spell?
witch with an alien and not know what a spell is?
I did not have it. So you're saying the kids at 2:17 a.m. were put under a spell? They were down in the basement, and then when they're discovered because
Whoa,
the witch
no!
died.
Now you're crossing a spoiler
that's
line.
all spoilers. You can't give all those spoilers
Bleep it.
on weapons. I'm the you got to bleep
Bleep
all
it.
of that.
Sorry, YouTube.
And I'm the worst.
Weapons been out for. Wait a minute. You get weapons?
You just got on stream.
Weapons
You
was
can't be doing
released
that.
months
You
ago.
can't be doing
David,
that.
David,
You cannot be
David,
doing that.
not everybody watches a movie a day for many days for many years. Not everybody does that, and I'm guilty of this. So we will bleep all of that. The point being that you missed. You have a grave misunderstanding.
Stunning.
That's a stunning revelation by you.
You think aliens do spells?
That you thought the aliens were doing a spell, and you had it being more beyond supernatural, beyond the witch. You had it being extraterrestrial.
100%. I'm processing this live as we're doing this. I can't imagine that. I'm not. So that's not a fine because there are 4 people who have emergency bypass, and it's my family, and that's it. So sorry, I'm not paying the fine.
No, fun time's over. We can't talk.
I'm not paying the fine.
That's fine. I'm not. Nobody's fining you.
Take it easy, man.
Quit popping off. You don't quit losing control everywhere. Okay, just like manage your temper. Nobody fined you. Nobody fined you, and you're already thinking we're going to aggressively come after you because you're getting calls.
You're popping off.
Who pop? You are. You did pop off. He did pop off. Look, did he not?
Yeah.
I just said I'm not paying a fine. But I want to go back to weapons for one quick second. Are you telling me that everyone knows that Gladys was a witch?
He's definitely not saying she's an alien.
Not everyone. Right. That's the distinction he's making is that however you feel about the end of weapons, you can have your theories. Not many of them are going to be aliens. We're handling all of that.
So maybe I'm confusing it with Begonia, but I don't think I am. I just watched it, and that was definitely my take. And by the way, Mike, what normally I would do if it weren't for the hurricanes, all I wanted to do was call you after I finished weapons, but I knew that I couldn't because you would look at the phone and feel obligated to respond because of what I'm going through, and I knew you didn't have the time or the bandwidth to do it.
Well, thank you. That is mighty big of you.
It's good in these times, David, for you to give so much to Mike.
Yeah,
it's
thank you for
nice.
looking out for me. As you know, I'm going through a lot.
Nothing personal. He's got to defend me all over the streets of Miami. Nothing personal is the name of the podcast. Thank you, David. We have, Tony is popping in here. Hold on a second. Can we get the word for this? Tony's about to have, while filling his mouth with takes, Tony's about to eat the breaded meat that we have that is famous, the breaded ham that is, you don't say it very well in Spanish. Do you want to take a crack at how you say the word?
Is it a croqueta?
Correcta.
Corretta?
Correcta.
No, you said it.
Corretta.
Correcta.
Croqueta. It's just a trademark, Dan Toss. Don't worry about it. Tony, what up?
What's up, Mike? I hope you didn't write my name down from the earlier segment. I didn't mean it like that, okay?
All right. You're off the list.
How many? It's
Thank you. I appreciate
pastelitos.
that.
What do you have there? Pastelitos, empanadas. What do you have?
We got we got a plethora of things, Dan. We've got croqueticas here, which are interesting.
Hold on.
here
Can you do me a
at
favor,
La Colada.
Tony? Can you hold up each of these things
Yes,
and see
yes.
if David can say what they are?
So I've got this right here. These are pastelitos. I'm not going to say which ones, but can he guess what they are?
Well, I don't think you would have even gotten pastelitos right.
It looks like a pan au chocolat on the left and some sort of
No, wrong.
kakaki on the right, the thing I get at a Greek restaurant, which I can't remember, a cornucopia pie or something.
Do you know what pastelitos are,
Okay.
David? Have you ever heard of pastelitos? All right, Tony, assume no ignorance. Assume nothing but ignorance and that he learned nothing while
All
living in
ignorance,
South
yeah.
Florida.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's hard to learn in South Florida about Cuban things when you live in Broward. It's difficult.
Relax.
But it's okay.
Were you talking about a spanakopita?
It really is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's talking about.
Kakaki.
So Dave, just so you know, so to the right here, the square one is pastelito de guayaba, which is guava, and then the one to the left is guava and cheese, guayaba y queso.
The good stuff.
That's how you
the
can
best
tell
one.
the difference
That's
because
the
one
best-
is
that's the
triangular.
best one.
Yeah,
That's
one. Yep, exactly. So Dan, for the take, I'm gonna do both croqueta and.
Oh, you're
pastelito de
going to
guayaba.
try and put it
So
all
we
in
can
your
have-
mouth while doing the entirety of the take. Okay, I'm looking forward to this. David, bye.
yo.
Thank you. Nothing Personal is the name of the podcast. Check it out. He continues to do, not solo because Coca helps him a great deal, but they are running a guerrilla outfit over there where they're doing 2 hours of really strong content as often as they can. Nothing Personal is the name of the podcast. Go ahead, Tony. What is the take? Are we in the AFC? Are we the NFC? Or are we going macro?
We're going macro, Dan. Can I get some music? Can I get some nice NFL music or something juice behind me? Because I'm absolutely cranked right now.
Okay.
I've had so many shots of Cuban coffee.
All right, well,
I've
then
had
hold
6
on.
cortaditos.
All right.
Like,
well,
I'm ready to go.
Okay, yes, I understand. It would have been good to tell Chris that before he started shouting F words into the sky, because you're telling him right now live to hurry up and get you better music than what he had. He had just the Latin stuff ready
there
for
we
you.
Go. Sure, yeah, no. The thing is, I can't talk to Chris. The only way I can talk to him is over the air. So, here we are. And I'm sorry if you're listening at 1.5 speed, but we are cranked right now. How you doing? Good to see you out there. All right, Dan. So we're going to do a big macro point. And the way that they have the croquetas here are not cylindrical in shape. They're more pear-shaped, which I thought was very interesting.
Whoa,
So it's
wait
gonna
a
be,
minute. I don't think that's a... Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see what you've got there.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
croquette. Wait
I
a
agree.
minute. Tony.
It's like a chicken wing.
Wait a minute. Tony.
I know.
Is there bone in
Tony,
that thing?
wait a
I asked for
minute.
una croqueta.
Eso no.
This
una
is what they
croqueta.
gave me.
That is a chicken wing.
I agree.
Tony,
I agree.
wait a minute. This
I
didn't
agree.
just happen
I
on
agree. I agree.
Tony, this did not just happen
I
on
agree.
live television. Hold on. Let's whisper. Hold on.
I agree.
Hold
I
on.
agree.
Espera.
I agree. Because when they brought me la croquetica, I said, "Estas son croquetas." And she was like, "Sí." And I was like, "Estos son papas rellenas, no?"
Tony.
And she said, "No, these are
Tony.
croquetas." So what I did is I took a bite of one, and it is a croqueta. I don't like the shape, but I'm not going to complain. I'm here in their establishment. The coffee's been very good, as you can see. Los patalitos, I don't know, but I'm going to try the croqueta and see what the deal is. I'm going to do this for you, Dan. I normally wouldn't eat this. but I'm going to do it for you, okay?
Okay, Tony, I don't mean to. I really don't. This is live, and we like to celebrate our Miami establishments. But I have a legitimate controversy in front of us right now, and I don't think a croqueta can be shaped that way and still be a croqueta. I may have it wrong. You guys have been accusing me all show of not being Cuban. You said my dad yesterday, and this
No,
was fair.
you're
He
on
forgot
this.
about Fidel and Elian. So I like my father. We've been living in a bubble for a while here, separated from our community. I believe that as a croqueta is blasphemous to any generation of Cuban. Just the shape of it. Do I have it wrong?
I am No. You are 100% right. This when they dropped this off, I was appalled and disgusted. I'm not gonna mince words here. Like the mince meat in this croqueta, I'm not gonna mince words. I wasn't happy when they dropped this off.
It doesn't mean that it can't be tasty, though,
because
right? It doesn't mean that it's okay.
Sure.
Okay, so let's
Sure,
go
but
ahead and
here's
do
the
this.
thing.
So
Okay, here's the thing.
Yes.
Really quick. So on that point, when you make them this shape, right, it makes it difficult for the consistency to be the same because as you make it, it gets more cocinado on the top and less cocinado on the bottom because of the weight distribution of the croqueta, which is why you have the cylindrical shape where it cooks evenly, thoroughly throughout the entire thing when you fry them.
Tony, this strikes me. Look, I do not mean to do this to an establishment of high order here in Miami with a reputation that has been earned as a maker of good food. I don't mean to do this live. However, you are in receipt of what I believe to be an amateur croqueta that is not going to be able to overcome its deficiencies because it looks the way it was cooked, and that's not the way to cook it.
Thank you to the restaurant for allowing
which is
us.
why if you want that's why I didn't want to look, it is what it is.
We're here now.
But that's why I have a pastelito guayaba y queso ready to go if we want to use this in instead of the croquetas.
Zaz,
So I'm ready to do
are
that
you
if
uncomfortable?
needed.
Are you uncomfortable about what
Feels
just
like we're
happened?
bogged down here.
Very comfortable.
Yeah. Let's just do the bit.
We should probably also give Edrin James the telestrator.
Do what now?
Do what? Come on.
All right, I'm gonna sacrifice. I'm gonna do it. Okay. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do.
You've mentioned
this,
that, yes.
Which again, we don't know if it's a croqueta. So here we go, Dan. You ready?
Yes.
Put the croqueta in your mouth.
Give us the take.
Okay.
Down the hatch.
Whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing. You got to
Also,
give
well,
the
here's
take.
the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
The Texans have a really good Super Bowl winning defense. But the problem is without Nico Collins, I don't think they could be as good as they originally thought. Right? Terry Kirk can do the same thing. The guy's pointing at me on the other side. Let's go. So, I have them as a dark horse to win the Super Bowl, but I don't think that's the case. Hold on, give me a second.
Have we done everything in Miami?
Yeah, we have one in Miami.
Feels like we're running out of stuff.
The best thing to do is look at the coaching matchup between the Rams and the Bears. I think they might be the best two coaches left in the NFL.
I think that's it.
This is tough, Dan.
Tony, that was excellent. You have really starred this week, okay? You have done good journalism this week. You are a one-man only indeed, buddy. You are everybody,
Good job, Tony.
and we're still just sort of
Tomorrow from campus.
We're still just getting started. We're building up to this live stream on Monday. Thank you, Tony. Excellent work. We'll see if La Casa de los Trucos is open later. We'll send you over there. You know I'm obsessed. Thank you. Good talking to you. That's excellent work by him. We have not talked very much professional football because we've been consumed with the local professional team.
Harbaugh, Giants.
Yeah. So that happened quick, not surprising, and I guess everybody would just say, yeah, that's probably pretty smart on both sides. Young quarterback, that's the best of all those stinky jobs. They're stinky jobs. And unless you have a quarterback, they're stinky jobs. And Mike Tomlin's out now.
Baltimore job's a good one.
The Baltimore job is a good one historically, but I do worry that you burn through an MVP body like that, and all of a sudden you take away his running skills, and you get a more limited quarterback that doesn't get to the playoffs or maybe gets hurt, even as Derrick Henry is still miraculously. I don't even understand that. Do any of you understand that? How is that possible physically in that sport for Derrick Henry to be had at a bargain price, Derrick Henry to be well exceeding his value at every turn? We yell at him when he has 3 fumbles, but Derrick Henry deserving to be in these playoffs. How is that possible? Anyone have any physical explanation listening to this for Derrick Henry's existence as a human being someone who came through the SEC with that many carries, and then Baltimore's still a good job, Zaslow says, because Derrick Henry's back there?
Zaslow says a lot of stuff, and sometimes not well. Hit it.
Shitty, you want to know how that? What were the kids doing? That's definitely edited. There's
no
way.
Not at all.
Zero
Not
edit.
even a little bit.
No.
You know,
I
tolerate the playing of the clips when you're having a go at me. Fine. But not
this
when
is
you're
how it happened.
Not when you're doctoring
that's not,
the clip.
That is not.
You're trying to say I got to find out why those kids are leaving the house, right?
Zaz, tell us what you were trying to say. Zaslow, no one's doctored this. Hold on, Chris. Don't play it again. Zaslow, this is unbelievable.
You got to find out why the kids went missing. Shitty, you want to know how that? What were the kids doing? Whoa. You got the point.
I don't think. What is you tell me what the point of this is.
You're telling me you heard that and you didn't know what I was asking? Shitty, you want to know how that? What were the kids doing?
That is not edited.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually knew what you were trying to say because it's a saying.
No.
And the fact that you tripped over one of your catchphrases is kind of nuts.
What were the?
Zaslow, how is it that you birthed this pathetic Ric Flair?
Shitty, you want to know how that? What were the kids doing? What did I call David in the beginning?
I don't know, dude. What's
One
next?
more time.
Tie.
Shitty, you want to know how that? What were the kids doing?
I
called him shitty.
What is? Tell me what.
Play
Explain.
that again. I didn't catch it.
Shitty, you want to know how that? What were the kids doing?
Yeah, maybe it was supposed to be shouldn't. And
Zaslow, put it in the Zaz translator, and you tell us, take us through. Okay. This is a good place for the telestrator.
Okay.
It sounds like me doing fake him.
Shitty, you want to know how that? What were the kids doing?
Shitty, you want to how to know
what? Explain to us. Break it down.
Okay, the first part is definitely. I for some reason I said shitty. All right. Shitty, you want to know how that? Shitty, you want. Shitty Pause.
Wait, so we're starting in professional broadcaster.
Yeah.
Okay, can we? What's the context that everyone needs to know if you're just picking up the show here?
David was about to review the movie Weapons, and he did not want to watch it other than Mike Ryan putting him onto it. Didn't you want to know how that, what were the kids doing? So I'm saying there, David, didn't you want to know what the kids were doing? Didn't you want to know how that, what were the kids doing? See?
Jeez. As much as you've killed it visually, it's been a bad week for you audibly.
The Packers win or the Bears lose. Man. Didn't you want to know how that, what were the kids doing?